Hey guys, my name is Nicole Sadie and I am a director. I know a lot of you guys there, but I don't know everybody just yet. I've been with Sensi for 3 years, and in those 3 years, I've actually earned the annual mentor award twice. So I do know a lot about recruiting. It's still something that I do struggle with. I think it's something that people will always struggle with because it's hard to get out of your comfort zone and to hear the word no. But there are ways to overcome it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm somebody that always likes to have everything written out, and I like to do research and make sure I have all the right answers for people. I don't like just to give an answer and get the recruit. I love having high numbers, but I like high performers as well. I don't want to just get somebody just to say, oh yeah, I have 300 people on my team, but we've sold $1 this month. So it's really important to recruit and be a true leader and sponsor. You don't want just the number. You want to help that person succeed, which it will in the long run help you succeed. So when it comes to overcoming objections, there are some different things that you can do. So before you even hear the word no, there's things you can do, or the word yes, because we are going to be positive here. You're going to hear yes more than you hear no. When you're talking to somebody either online or in person, even if you just hear somebody out on the street, you are listening for certain cues for people to say that they are looking for a job, or they need a little extra money, or gas is getting expensive. Anything that really sticks out to you, it might not be a cue that I hear, but it's something that you hear and you feel like that person would be an excellent Sensi consultant. You have to listen and then you have to respond. So I think it was a video I watched the other day with Katie Farner. She said she leaves sparkle letters. So she carries around a Post-it, like a book of Post-its everywhere she goes. And if she sees somebody doing an excellent job at whatever they're doing, she writes it down on a note and gives it to them with a join packet, which that is such an awesome idea. When we were at leadership this year, we had to stand up. They would do like certain kind of recognition, and then we would stand up and everybody would clap, and it was cool. But the best thing that happened, I will never forget this. I don't know the woman's name, but me and Lisa Hart, we were sitting there, and I think I was recognized for like highest team growth or something like that. I stood up, and the woman next to me handed me a Post-it note that said, "You are amazing." And I was like, that's so cool. Like, I don't even care that all these people are clapping for me right now, but this woman took time out of her day to hand me a note. So I still have it because I'm a hoarder and I save everything. But those handwritten notes mean so much. We all love getting those letters of recognition in the mail, so why not start before you even have the recruit? So I saw a great example online the other day. Somebody was at, I think, the Olive Garden, and their waiter was spectacular. So the person, I think it was a director, left a note that said, we appreciate your hard work, and I don't even know. She gave him a bunch of compliments, and I'm sure they were sincere. But it was like, thank you for being an excellent waiter and being so in tune to our needs. You would make an excellent addition to my Sensi team. And of course, you don't want to just leave the note and a join packet. Like, you want to make sure you leave a tip as well, because if you're just leaving notes as a tip, believe me, as a waitress for 8 years, you won't ever join that person's team. So you want to make sure you're still letting them do their job and not just totally taking over. So that's really important. So you're going to listen for cues. You're going to watch for cues, because that's important too. And then, in daily conversation, you're going to ask questions. You are going to not necessarily come out and say, oh, do you want to join my Sensi team? You want to ask questions like, oh, what do you do for fun? How many kids do you have? How many vacations do you take a year? Stuff like that. Make it into a normal, everyday, fun conversation, not a recruiting conversation. Just like we don't want to sell to people, we want to share. We want to have conversations and not necessarily, join my team. It's $49 this month. You'll love it. You need to actually make it into a normal conversation and don't make it so forced. That's super important. Once you start the conversation, you want to find out their why right away. Like, maybe you haven't even asked them to join yet, but once you're talking about their kids, and maybe they say something like, oh, I would love to get to go to Disney this year, or I would love to be able to only work 3 days. That way I'm there 2 days a week, or something like that. Like, you don't have to pull it out of them. Let it be a natural progression, and let them tell you without having it be a forced thing. You want to maybe find out about their finances, about what their employment situation are. You don't always have to save the world. It's awesome to have people on your team that are just laid off, or they need money. But you want to look for people that are already successful. And I know Jen has told us that a million times. Don't judge somebody just because they're a doctor. Doesn't mean that they don't love Scentsy. They might want a side job just to get their Scentsy for free. Don't just assume that because they have a lot of money, they don't need extra income. You don't know their circumstances, so you can't really judge what they need money for. Another thing is you want to make sure you ask a lot of questions. Once you can kind of tell that you're having a recruiting conversation. They're not dumb, but you ask them questions. How will the business help them? Let them know that you're a Scentsy consultant. Ask them how it might benefit them. Ask them what their needs are and what they're willing to do to be successful. Because they're considering that, because you're not being forceful. You are having just a normal conversation. You are kind of giving them some details. But you want to listen to them. You don't want to tell them all the information. Listen and let them tell you how they feel, not what you're going to benefit. You need to let them know how you're going to benefit them, not how they're going to benefit you. That's super important. So you don't want to turn into the type of person that overwhelms with a lot of detail. So that's why it's so important to listen to what they're saying. You don't want to be like, it's $99 to sign up. This is what comes in your kit. You get paid 25%. And then when you recruit, you get this and blah, 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 blah. Because I've already stopped listening or reading. If it's online, I've definitely stopped reading. Try to listen to everything that they say. And it's so important. I think it's Sarah Robbins that says you have to say, I know how you feel. That's how I felt. Like, make it less forced. If you do it like this, you're not going to hear as many true objections. You're not going to have people that just say no, 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 because you're not saying, do you want to join? And they just, no. That's either a yes or a no answer. If you are just, hey, how are you? I saw you doing something spectacular the other day. I really think you would make an awesome addition to my team. If you make it into a normal conversation, and it's so hard to talk about a normal conversation because you never know how it's going to come up. I could just be talking to somebody one day, and I might make it into like a joke. Like, I'm serious, but it's a joke at the time. I love Time Hop. You can see how people have answered you in the past. So I think it was like a year and a half ago, I got a new washer and dryer. And somebody commented on their page, like, oh, we need a new washer and dryer. And I said, oh, well, this is what we just got. And they go, wow, that Scentsy paycheck must be huge. And I said, hey, it's only $49 this month. Kind of joking. But now everybody who also commented sees it. And then it kind of plants seeds. He didn't join, but they do buy. So it's kind of, if people are going to say no, people are going to ignore you. But it's all about the way you handle it. It's just so important to be yourself, really. You want to be honest and direct. You want to empathize, that felt thing. Make sure you let them know their concerns are valid. And this video is long, I'm sorry. I could talk all day about recruiting. You want to be simple when you ask them. Show them what makes Scentsy unique. Show that it's a great product. Methods of selling, because maybe they don't want to do home parties. Let them know that they can do online parties, pouch parties, fundraising, events, just online to their friends. They could be their own best customer. Everything will fall into line. Just because I do home parties, that does not mean that everybody on my team likes or wants to do home parties. But you have to let them know, of course, that the sales are not going to come to them. You have to go to the sales. You have to find people. But it's not just going out and selling. It's going out and showing your excitement. And you have to be excited about selling, and you have to be excited about recruiting. Let's see. Once So I always assume people are going to say yes. If they say no, that's fine. It's a no for now and not forever. I've had tons of people who have always just said, nope, I'm going to do pouch parties every month for you. I'm not going to sign up. But I check in. I know that they have a $49 special come out, and I'll be like, girl, you have spent $100 last month. Why not just join for $49, and then all your friends who buy from me can now buy from you? So that, you can't just say you want to join. You want to join. People aren't going to listen to you if you say it like that. You have to be excited, and you have to give them a reason to join. You have to create a culture of fun and let people express themselves without just talking about Scentsy all the time. It's so important. So when I started, we started just as everybody else, essential consultant. I got my first recruit. I think 2 or 3 months after I joined, I felt like a leader from day one. From that first recruit, I started my own Scentsy group page. I was their leader. I knew that I wanted to be director. So the sooner you start acting like a leader, you will be. And that includes before you even get a recruit. You have to act like a leader before somebody even says yes. You can't just think that once you get that recruit, I have nothing else to do with this person. You train that person. You are leading them. And they trust you enough to let you do that. So you have to have confidence when you're doing it. You have to be secure in what you're saying. And if you don't know the answer, let them know. They're not going to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to join under her because she doesn't know all the answers. Let them know. Hey, I'm just starting out. Let me find out the answer. I don't want to lie to you. Don't give up on somebody just because they say, I don't have the money this month. They might even say check back in 2 months, 3 months. But maybe they don't, but you should still do it. You follow up every 2 months. It's so important. You owe it to them and your business to not give up on them. It's so important to know that nobody has ever died by somebody telling them no. Even if they're forceful with their no, it might hurt our feelings a little bit, but nobody has ever died from somebody saying no. You have to get up the next day and ask more people. You're going to hear so many no's. You're going to have so many unanswered messages, but if the more people you ask, the better, because you're going to get your yes. I know it sounds silly and like, oh, she's way too optimistic for me. It works. Believe me, it works. The most important thing is don't be afraid to offer the business. You can't have a yes or a no if you're not offering the business. They're not going to come to you and say, hey, do you think I should sign up for Scentsy? It's not going to happen. So honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm not the best person to talk about objections because it doesn't honestly upset me when somebody says no. I joined Scentsy to better myself and to make friends. So if somebody's telling me no and I'm going to get upset over that, I feel like I kind of lost a friend. If they say no, I'm like, okay, do you want to go out to coffee next week? And then I bring my testers and it kind of goes from there. I've had so many people tell me no who became my best friends and then went on a free trip with me and then they joined, Jenna. It's just so important to be positive and be yourself. And you will not be stressed out by